Yeah, they be like, who is this Mickey Truth girl? Who qualifies her to put a work on these people?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. To everybody that has been commenting under the videos, the engagement has been great. I love it, love it, love it. I love the back and forth debates, not arguments, and that's what I have to give y'all credit for. Definitely, everybody has been respectful and just giving out their opinions on this public case. So let's talk about it. Shout out to Mr. XX's for engaging with great points. I'm going to answer his bullets or his numbers from his comment. All right. So these are all of them together so y'all can know. I put them just like he asked, and then we're going to go through them. So the first one, the bullet was fired from the seat Melly was sitting in. My reply to that is, as I stated, the fact is that the bullet was fired from the left rear seat. The allegation is that because Melly was seen getting into that seat, he had to be the shooter. This is the only scenario that was provided, so it would be obvious that the public will go with it as a fact, not an allegation. So again, allegation. So my rebuttal to number one would be, what evidence was provided that proves as a fact that YNW Melly was sitting in that left rear seat at the alleged time of the shooting? Second, phone records ping Melly's phone in the car during the murder. Now, I'm not even gonna count to say it was in the car. Uh, I wouldn't really put that because again, no GPS from the car was ever included. They're assuming they're in the car, based on what stop and travel time on a fitness app. But nevertheless, we'll get into that at another point. But to answer or to reply to that, well, phone records ping Juvie phone away from Melly and sat chase the phone. To be honest, Juvie phone never pings at the murder scene per all records since 2019. As I stated, it's unreliable for this case because it's inconsistent. And that just is the prime example why it's inconsistent. But my rebuttal, why does Juvie phone never ping at the murder scene? Three, no reliable witness has testified telling when Melly was during the murder. And I say, hey, that goes for both sides. However, Adrian never changed his story, but Glass did. Plus, Glass was facing other charges, which he stated during testifying. I mean, y'all remember? I'm only here because I don't want to go to jail. So my rebuttal is, why didn't the state provide a witness that was present during the shooting? I see y'all say it all the time. Bortland, Bortland, Bortland. Again, why wasn't he called to testify? Hmm? He's literally out on bond. He could have been called and pled the fifth for sure, but they never called him as a witness. Why is that? Let me know in the comments. Four, ex-girl mother tells cops Melly called shortly after the murder saying he needed a ride and claimed he was involved in the drive-by. Well, whether he called or not, he didn't admit to shooting anyone. To be honest, per Mariah Hamilton's original statement, which Law and Crime has a copy of, he said they killed him. So again, he didn't admit to killing anybody. Okay? So in reality, the witness only proves that he was present, not that he was the shooter. And again, if y'all pay attention to what I have said over these videos, I've never said he wasn't there. What I said, what if he's not the shooter? Pay attention to that. And just for those who have selective hearing, I also never said he was innocent. Again, I said, what if he's not the shooter? So, if you really want to bet on this witness, then her smiling at Melly during the trial, unwillingness to answer questions, her allegations against the ASA, the same ASA that was removed. I mean, do I need to continue with that? So my rebuttal to you, this witness is unreliable on either side. But for those who actually believe her original statement, why would she risk perjury? Answer that. And I forgot this part. She never even was charged with a crime because of that testimony. Mind you, she was still on the ankle monitor. She still was under technically detained as a material witness. Five, tampering charges and evidence he covers the ex-mom to change her initial recant of the situation. Now, according to my recollection, that was never a part of the allegation for the witness tampering. I do have a video where I went over that paperwork. So just to be clear, the witness tampering is for Mariah Hamilton, not Felicia Holmes. They even provide in that motion that was filed yesterday, which my video was based in reply to that motion, Mariah Hamilton's actual name. So it's not a secret or not a guess anymore. They actually released it. She is the witness in question. So to be fair though, the allegation was that Felicia Holmes was paid off. So, do you still want to use the testimony on this witness to prove your stance? If y'all don't recall, the reason why Jamie King was even in the office back in October 2022 to talk about possible witness tampering, it was due to possibly paying off not just Mariah Hamilton, but Felicia Holmes. So, rebuttal. A witness who allegedly got paid off is supposed to be believable? Think about it. Who would, as a jury member, she got paid off? Oh, I guess you would switch it up and say, oh, she was forced. But wasn't she captured in Virgin Islands? Hmm. With nobody around using a fake name? Hmm. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. 6. There was spent shell case found inside a vehicle that matched the bullet used in the murder. Again, bottom line, that doesn't prove that Melly was the shooter. It just proves or go along with the evidence that the shooting happened inside the car and that the shooter was sitting in the left rear seat. Now, again, none of it puts Melly physically there with a gun in his hand at the time of the shooting. And I mean, again, y'all could be like, oh, he's guilty, he did it. That's cool. But when we talk about the actual evidence that's provided, no evidence thus far has put Melly in that car shooting a gun that resulted in the two deaths, just to be honest. And that's as clear and as I can be about it, like without being biased. Nothing has been. And if it has, y'all let me know. Because again, where's the evidence that Melly, the person, not Melly's phone, Melly, the person, was in the seat where that shell casing was found during the time of the murder? Let me know in the comments. 7. The only witness who said he changed vehicles was too drunk high to remember where and when they picked up Melly, yet the driver who knew, never testified. To be fair, both witnesses from that night will fall under that. Plus, Glass literally said he couldn't see well out of one eye while on the stand. I'm just gonna be honest. If I was the defense, I definitely would have made sure that was clear. He can't even see out of one eye. He said it himself, right? Also, Withers was the driver of the car that you're referring to. The same Withers, as I stated in my video, who police said lied early on. The same Withers who still stuck to the story Melly got into his car. Like I said in the last video, what he switched was that Melly didn't start out in the car. See, originally he said Melly was in his car the whole time. They found out once they got the video that wasn't true. Then he said, oh, okay. No, he got into the car after he texted me on Snapchat. So again, he still says Melly ended up in the car. So again, the state's not gonna put him up there to say that because again, they'll cause doubt, regardless if they poke at him and ask him questions. It still would have stuck in the jury's head. Despite all this, he is still saying Melly got into the car. That wouldn't have been a good move for the state. So, do you have a better example for a witness that could testify to clear this up? Let me know in the comments. 8. The famous "that was me" post on social media. Now, I'll be honest. I do recall hearing this, and I think along the investigation, right? But it was never entered in discovery, to my understanding. If it was, let me know which one it was submitted on. And again, if we are going to take in social media posts, y'all do remember when the gang member said he did the shooting, right? Now, of course, the police said they looked into it and it was just them trolling. But I mean, again, if that's presented to the jury, then what? Like the actual post, not what happened after. Because I believe I don't even think they brought it to trial, but at some point they do put in a document like they checked into it. It wasn't that. But what if the defense brought in just that post? Although the state can come in and say da 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 da, But that post itself, I mean, we're gonna do posts. Okay? It's like even the state didn't see that that was reliable enough to bring in. And if they did, the judge ain't allowed because they never said nothing about it at trial. So my rebuttal to number 8. Do you understand once the gates are open, that it's open on both sides? Why do you think the state didn't present that alleged post, or why do you think it wasn't allowed at trial? I want y'all to let me know that in the comments. So this is supposed to be 9. The fact that he was dancing and having a good time the next day after the shootings. Y'all know my stance on this. You can't dictate how somebody act. Again, a family member of a decedent could be smiling the next day. They probably have been crying all day long. Somebody came to make them smile. They smiled. Somebody catch it on video. Oh, you're not grieving. You smiling. I mean, like, what? How do you supposed to act? I don't never get that part. The same thing I said at Takeoff's memorial when Quavo wasn't crying. Everybody was like, "Why he's not crying?" Like again, everybody don't act the same. I even gave my own example. So again, I don't think that's a good stance, but nevertheless, here go my rebuttal to it. Could Melly have been on some type of drug to cope with that, to deal with that? And then also, not only was Melly at the video shoot, but Bortland and Track was there. And maybe even others, they only showed part of it. But another thing I want to point out is this. He's literally at a video shoot. Now, if that video was just them at the house or something, I might be more into, but he's at a video shoot. I mean, what I don't know. Y'all gotta elaborate more on that. Like, what did y'all want him to be doing at a video shoot that he was paid to be at to shoot a music video? Hmm. Let me know in the comments though. 10. The fact that he tried to get Juvie mom to lie to him. Now again, I never heard this ever. So I'm not gonna go into this one yet. I actually do have Juvie's mom deposition, and I'll do a video about it at a later time. So we'll hold off until then. Now, this is the remainder of the comment, and I'm gonna just start off with I hope this person is not a resident of Florida, let alone Broward County, to ever get picked on the jury. This is what it says. So no, they are not going what they think. They are weighing the corresponding evidence that points to one person, and the fact that he got caught tampering speaks value of his guilt, because the charge of witness tampering carries life if convicted. And what innocent person in their right mind will risk life in jail fucking with people for no reason? So I'm gonna start off by saying this. Again, they're not weighing in corresponding evidence that points to one person. They're making corresponding evidence point to one person. It's all about a narrative. That's what these cases are always about. Again, it's all about putting the pieces together to point to your suspect. Okay. Now, again, regardless if you feel Melly is innocent or guilty, if you think about what I said, because this, as a matter of fact, Mr. X's of X's, you're the same one who commented that I was reaching. However, in my last video, for those who didn't catch it, that the pieces of the document comes from the actual motion that was filed on yesterday. So with that being said, the same evidence that they're saying is pointing to Melly, I'm making it point to a drug dealer. Whether it's really a drug dealer, I don't know. But again, circumstantial evidence has more than one way you can twist it. It's all about the narrative. So, with that being said, I don't agree that it points to one person. However, I also would agree with you that that's crazy for somebody to just, be innocent and be going through this. But again, the state has pointed out this is gang related. He's a alleged gang member. They have different way of life, different views than we do. So you might want to ask like a gang member, how does that work? Because in my mind, from what I assume of gang members, okay, they got a different code. And if it's more in benefit of the gang for you to sit down for 5 years to ride this out, because they know you're innocent of the shooting, so they feel like you'll get off because the evidence is not there, then that's what you're gonna do compared to, guess what, throwing the gang under the bus. Just saying, my opinion. Next. But the biggest thing that Melly has to overcome isn't something he did or said, but whether what wasn't said. Because, like I said earlier, if he really wants to get out of jail, all he has to do is have the driver of the car that picked him up testify. This way, he cannot plead and say he was too high or drunk because he was driving. This way, they can call into evidence his phone, where they could check his phone records to see if he really got a phone call from Melly. Next, they would be able to ping his phone to see where he was while verifying with street cameras. But for some strange reason, the defense thought it was smarter calling the stand a drunk druggie who conveniently couldn't remember where, when, and how Melly got picked up. It is funny how all of Melly's witnesses seem to have the same memory problem. Either that or they are on the run, afraid to talk under oath. Normally, I'll say this is a red flag, but in this case, this isn't at least 10 red flags. So obviously you don't pay attention well to all details. And that paragraph says it a lot. Because for one, let's just start with this. Withers is the driver, okay, that allegedly said that he picked him up on the side of the highway. That's Withers. They have Withers' phone. I've said it in my own video. They have his phone. They mapped his phone. They have that. Another thing, you can't just say just because Adrian Davis said that he was under the influence. Hell, Glass said he was under the influence. Everybody probably was under the influence that night of something. So again, what are you talking about, right? And then another thing, they do have so-called quote unquote the information from Snapchat, and they said they don't see it. The same way Mariah Hamilton said that it was a video call or it was a call between her and Melly and they never could find it. She said it was a text now number, but they never found a text now number for Melly. Come on. If we're going to open that door, it got to be equal on both sides. So again, Withers said it was a message on Snapchat. The warrant search found that it wasn't. Mariah Hamilton, a star witness that they want on the case, right? The tamper witness said that Melly contacted her on the text now. Come to find out, he doesn't even have one. So again, where we going with it, okay? Another thing is this. Melly only called one witness. So to say witnesses is crazy. He only called one witness, okay? And let's be clear though. Let's just be open and honest about this, y'all. And y'all let me know in the comments. The only witnesses that are afraid, right, are the ones the state put on the stand out of their own words. Glass said he was afraid to go to jail because he had a pending situation going on. Um, Holmes said that she was being forced to be on the stand, literally with an ankle monitor. She even said that in her interview with her daughter. So, mm. Next it said, so if you really want to help Melly, and let's just be clear, I ain't trying to help nobody. This is entertainment purposes only. I don't know where y'all getting that misconstrued at. I have nothing to do with no legal cases at all. This is all for entertainment purposes only. So to help him, his legal team, not me. My YouTube channel cannot help him. Y'all got to stop putting that narrative out. Start by trying to answer those questions above because after all, that money he is shelling out to his super lawyer team, none of them seem to want to touch them. To me, it seems like they are wasting all their energy and effort trying to get him off of technicality, another red flag. So let's just be honest. You do understand the point of the defense is not to implicate their client in no crimes. Okay, so how I'm breaking it down, yeah, it seems short and simple. Oh well, if that's the case, it should be easy. For one, if my theory was accurate, right, and that it was a drug deal with a gang member, possibly one of the gang members that he talked to in the messages that they put out in court, he's not going to want to turn or talk about it. That's going to be a bigger issue. Because guess what? He's not going to get off. It's just going to be a different crime if that is the case. His lawyer's not going to go that route, okay? Because again, we already, per how it's been for the past 5 years, Melly has not spoke with police, have not gave a statement. He's not going to do it now. So why would a defense make this allegation, right, as a defense, knowing Melly is not going to cooperate with it? Hmm. And to be honest, if you didn't watch the Law and Order response with his previous lawyer, this is what his lead attorney does. What I said this whole time last trial with the other lawyer, you put on record things that you can come back to if shit go left for a appeal. So technicalities is always important because you never know what juries. Because for one, the whole jury could be like you. The mindset, adding stuff that wasn't introduced, adding stuff that you recall from your own research of it, adding stuff from one point, putting it with another point, and guess what? His ass will be fried. But by pointing out the discrepancies and technicalities throughout the trial, you can come back on appeal. Now, again, y'all don't have to agree with my stance, but I put out my content, y'all reply to my content, and I'm replying back. This is all opinion based. And again, if you don't like the angle, you don't have to. Put in the comments and do like Mr. X's of X's. I actually picked this comment because he didn't just go in there talking junk outside of his neck. He actually had put some points. However, a lot of the points, like I said, I don't agree with, but nevertheless, it's points. So, with that being said, thank you for all your comments. More videos to come. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. And as always, go to MickeyTruth.com and get you that merch because you know your girl stay with that work. So until next time, holla!
You rappers ain't safe. No matter what you go through, do what you got to do and conquer the world.